Hey everyone! Today is a really big day for me because I'm celebrating my 2 years of sobriety. Now, I was super nervous about making this video because I think it's really something that's been so close to me and I've kind of kept this topic inside. I've just also been nervous about what people's reactions would be when I talked about this. You know, my story of sobriety is much different than I think a lot of people or stories that we have heard like in the media. You know, I was never an addict. I didn't hit rock bottom. My relationship with alcohol was a lot different. I think I used alcohol in a way to numb, but I still always had like a bit of control over it. So I really today wanted to just start some dialogue around young adults and their relationship with alcohol and sharing part of my personal journey through how alcohol and substances have kind of weaved themselves through my life. There's really kind of two areas of my life that I feel like I've used alcohol to numb. And a lot of people don't even use alcohol to numb. There's so many ways that you can numb, whether it's like shopping, seeking validation, just working overtime. But when I talk about numbing, I think it's about like an escape. It's about trying to like do something in order to like release or let go of something that you're feeling in a moment, but it's a temporary thing. And two areas in my life that I feel like I really used and relied on alcohol, one was dealing with something really painful, or I was really stressed at work, or I would also use it for my anxiety. So let's talk a little bit about my anxiety first. Growing up in a small town, I was bullied my entire life. I felt like I was like constantly ridiculed for who I was, and I could never like let my light shine. So this caused me a lot of anxiety. I always wanted to be like introverted and shy and not put myself out there and like have my back against the wall when I would like be in gym class or like try to go to parties with my friends, because I felt like any single time I like lifted my head up, people would like come at me and make me feel like horrible about myself. Because of this moment from my childhood, this then translated into so much anxiety in my adulthood. Like I would go to parties and like I would want to put myself out there, but then I would just get this like crippling anxiety to even just like tell a funny joke or story or like try to even talk to like someone that I didn't know and I didn't trust. And like I would literally feel like I was having a panic attack. I would reach for alcohol. I'd be like, okay, if I have like 3, 4, 5 drinks, like then that extroverted side would come out of me. I didn't care anymore. My anxiety was gone and I felt so much more like confident, like it literally was like liquid courage for me. And I think that a lot of people can relate to that. I think that there's so many things within our head, or the stories that we tell ourselves within our, like that we think people are judging us, so I really used alcohol in that way to like try to make myself a lot more anxious. So I reached a point where I felt that the power that I was putting behind alcohol or drinking when I was in these situations, when I felt anxious, I just didn't like it. It was like, why am I giving this like substance power over me in order for me to be a part of my authentic self? And that frustrated me. I was like, okay, like I need to have a drink in order to like let my light shine. And I don't know, I think that I've always just been a very authentic person, and that bothered me. So it like forced me to like look more within myself, and it's like, okay, how can I deal with this problem? How can I like fight that anxiety and release that anxiety and put that anxiety into a place that's positive without having to have a drink in order to do that? That took me a long time to like sift through and figure that out and look like in the darkest parts of who I was to like get to the root of that anxiety. And that anxiety really came from the shame of my childhood, the shame of like that people are gonna judge me based off of who I was, because like I was told that I was weird before I even knew what being weird was or being different. So once I discovered that kind of like root trauma, I was really able to like work through that. And don't get me wrong, I'm still working on this. Like there is times where it's like I'm at like someone that I love's birthday party and like I'm 3 hours in, people are getting really drunk around me, and like I need to leave because it's like I have to choose joy and I need to like choose what makes me feel comfortable, and I like can kind of when I reach my max now that I'm sober. So that was kind of like my first kind of big key piece with dealing with my anxiety part of my relationship with alcohol. So my second example with my relationship with alcohol, where I struggled a bit with it, was when I was stressed and also dealing with like immense amount of trauma. So when I was 23, I lost my partner, and when he passed away, it like totally like took my life for such a spin. And like you don't know how to deal with that at such a young age, and it really like it was really hard. It was really hard to deal with that because I felt like I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who to just like openly talk about this with. But then also like literally at the same time, my career was like taking off. I was like booking all these modeling campaigns. My makeup was like going crazy. Like I was getting so many jobs, and it was like, so I have this like stress of my work, and then like losing the loss of like a partner and someone that I loved at the same time, that it was just like, I didn't know how to feel anymore. You know, I would like come home from work and like want to have a drink, or I would be like super excited to just get like drunk on the weekends with my friends, because it was like something that I could look forward to, that like I could escape and just understand like that I had like a piece of calm in my mind. It wasn't like it became a habit. I wouldn't say that it became an addiction. I think a lot of people out there, like, it's like we look forward to the ritual of like going out with our friends on the weekend. I felt like when Monday morning came or Sunday morning came, I didn't feel good. I felt worse than I did on the Friday before I had those drinks. So again, I think it goes back to the power that I gave to alcohol, or I gave to like substances. I didn't want that power over me. So then just over 2.5 years ago, I was dealing with some really difficult like health problems. And that was really kind of just like a final moment that like made me realize that I needed to like let go of my relationship with like alcohol and substances, because it was just like your body like physically can't handle it anymore. So, you know, I had to stop. I had to like fully be sober. And prior to that, I had like periods of like my own sobriety, like a couple months I would be sober, and then I would like have some drinks at parties. Like I would really like kind of weaved in and out. But after dealing with these like health problems, I was like, no, Miles, like you need to cut cold turkey. Like you cannot do this anymore, and you need to like also work on dealing with your emotions and stress in a different way. You know, I was super lucky at the time. I had an amazing partner of 4 years, and you know, he really like encouraged us as a relationship to do things outside of like partying. So we would go hiking a lot, which like really made a big difference. And not saying that like everyone's gonna love to go hiking, but like, you know, you need to like find these like alternatives of like dealing with and releasing stress. Some people go to the gym, you know, like there's tons of like options that are out there. So, you know, I really had to like look in and like I'm finding these new ways of like releasing this pain and this trauma and like alleviating stress. And you know, that's still something that I practice to this day. When I feel that coming on, that I feel like I'm getting I'm losing my balance, or like I'm getting off center, it's like I have to go on a hike. So I would highly like encourage like anyone who's looking to try this to also try to find pieces of that in their lives that they're able to like try to explore these like other habits, and like breaking your pattern, I think is like the key kind of thing to do with that. So this is just a small part of my story, and the first of really a few videos that I would love to do around this subject. I think that there are so many young adults that are out there that, you know, are dancing with their relationship with maybe alcohol and substances, and I really just want to start talking about it. And I hope that like sharing part of my story and like a little bit of my journey through this can and maybe inspire something in someone else, or feel that they have someone that they can connect to that share a similar story to me. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking this moment to listen to my story and my words and like following my journey. And you have no idea how much it means to me. And please DM me, comment. I want this to be the first of like many conversations that we can have around this. So thanks, friends. So to continue following this journey of mine and to catch more videos around this topic, please make sure that you follow me on Instagram, and I'll be putting videos up in my IGTV, as well as subscribe to my YouTube. Have a great